Hi, fellow amateur coders, developers, and hobbyists. Wait a minute. This ain't right. That's better. Hi, fellow amateur coders, developers, and hobbyists. AppZaddy here to walk you through some of the best practices I use to convert my Kivy projects to suitable applications that I offer on Android and Apple devices. On our last video, we set up our Kivy project and converted it to an APK using Buildozer. On this video, we will focus on some of the issues that can arise while converting the Kivy project to an APK, because something always goes wrong. Keeping that in mind, I will show you how to fix those issues. Once you're satisfied with your APK file, you can upload to Firebase for more debugging.
Bro, what's debugging?
Pipe down there, little buddy. Your lecture's coming soon. Debugging basically means testing. So when I say that we're going to debug anything, aka our Kivy project, we are testing it to fix little bits of code before we get any further in the project.
Stop being a dork.
Stop being mean. So our project, we converted to an APK in the last chapter. The text inside of the MD cards in our intro screen of the app was super small. We want our customers to be able to read our text on any part of the application because squinting hurts. I know this because I'm old. Once we are satisfied with our results from Firebase, I will show you how to create an AAB using Buildozer. AAB files are the only files accepted to upload your apps to the Google Play Store. So without further delay, let's hop right into this tutorial. But before we begin, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom of this video. I will drop way more videos in this series until we have apps on both the Google Play and the Apple Store. Feel free to follow me on my other social media profiles as well. I will do smaller videos of tips and tricks. I will also answer my subscribers' questions there as well. Today I'm paying homage to cowboys because yeehaw is life. I like throwing lassos. So let's fix this app. Let me move myself over here. Shrink me up a little bit. And we will close this out. And let's get busy. Alright, to fix our fine issues from the last chapter, we go back to the KV file. And we have to go to the MD card that's in our intro screen, and for some reason I have the font size listed as 19, so I'm fixing the font size to go universally as 19 on every application, and that is not correct. So to fix my font issue, I'm just going to highlight the font size, delete that out of the MD card there, and delete that out of the MD card there. I'm gonna Control S to save. Go back to my main.py, run it, let it do its thing. And we see now the font probably looks the same here on the VS Code, but we want to see what changes it's made to the virtual device on Android Studio. So in order to do that, we're going to need to go back to Ubuntu, and we're going to need to go back to our path that we did last time, whatever path you have on your computer, and we're going to do Buildozer, Android, debug. You know the drill. It's going to do a lot of stuff. We'll fast forward. All right, down below we got success. The APK is successfully created. So we're gonna go over to Android Studio and we're gonna open up the file and we're gonna see what's going on with the changes. All right, now we're in Android Studio. We're gonna file, profile, or debug our APK. I already got it open here. So we're going to reload that thing. Go to our running devices. We'll expand this out. Last time it was very small, we couldn't see the lettering. This time I'm only hoping that the letters are a little bit bigger. Looks a lot better. We'll let that load and see here, we have success. The letters are not constrained by a specific font size, and the app's functionality is the same as before. It just looks better. This is fine, but I want to add some more functionality to this test app. I want to add a function where I send an email of the chat history from the Daddy chatbot. So I'll show you how easy it is for us to make minor changes. Let's go back to VS Code. All right, we're going to use an import into our Python file. We're going to import Plier. And Plier has a good program that allows mobile applications to interact with email or calendar functions on cell phones. We're not going to do anything as far as logic. I'm just going to show you how to add a button where if you click it, it'll show an email icon. We can do logic later. I want to add the button to the design in my KV file. So I want to add that into my chat screen. And right now, when you click on the main.py, you can see that if I go to the chat screen, I have the left action item of the robot, the right action item of the home, which you go back to the home. I want to create an email icon next to the home. All right, we'll close this out. And then I want to add a item in the chat screen under the right action items. And if I want to get some information on how I do that, I just simply go to the Kivy MD read the docs, and you can see here I have a solo right action item already, the home. I got my callback where I hit the button and it goes back home. But if I want to add other things in there, I have to put them all in between these brackets. So to do that, I have to do the bracket, plus I do have to do like a comma. So I'll go back after I got my education, and then I'll go to my KV file, go here, comma, bracket. Ooh, no, those curlies. Bracket, and then I'm going to use the email logo. Save it, go back and press play, click there, and look at that. We have an email logo. So to recap, I imported Plier in my Python file, and then for style, I added a email logo button and the right action items on the chat screen. So once I'm satisfied with that, I just go back to my Ubuntu and I run the bulldozer again. And then hit enter. And then you know what it is. I'll fast forward through this. All right, success again. So same process, we're gonna go back to Android Studio. We're going to, and if you'll see, every time you change your APK by running it through Bulldozer, it'll give you a notification that says new APK detected. All you do is go back to your file, overwrite the project, disconnect, let it load. We'll go back here, it's loading the virtual device. And so we're going to hit run, click on running devices. It's loading the app. And so this is actually going to be a good example. Click on this logcat, because this logcat is kind of the same thing that was on Visual Studio Code. This is going to tell you if there's any issues that pop up. And like I said, this is going to be a great example because as you can see up here, the app loaded, the splash screen, and it crashed. So you can tell it crashed because it'll show the whatever loading screen or splash screen that you have on your application, it'll show that, and then it'll immediately go to the home screen, and then it'll pop up with this message in the bottom portion of Android Studio to say, hey, there's an issue, and it'll be in red. Then all you got to do is read a little bit above the error, and you can see right here, module not found error, no module name plier. And if you go back here to our Visual Studio Code, you can see there that I imported plier into my Python file, but I failed to add it as a requirement in my Bulldozer spec file. So like I said, this is a great example because Android Studio will tell you quickly where you messed up. And all you got to do is go to your Bulldozer spec file, put a comma, and then type in PLYER, save it, go back to Ubuntu, Bulldozer, Android, debug, run it again, and you know the drill. I'll fast forward, we'll come back. All right, it looks like it finished up here. So the same process as before. It's gonna let us know that there's a new APK detected. We're going to profile the new APK, overwrite the existing project. It's gonna bounce out of there. It's gonna pop back up. It's loading on our virtual device. That's why it's taking a little bit of time to pop up this time. We'll hit run. We're gonna run the app. Go to the running devices again. See our virtual devices there. I'm gonna open up the logcat again down here, just so I can see if there's any issues. See it successfully installed. We got the splash screen. Different messages are running down here. We should have some success. It should show that plier. Well, it shouldn't show anything because we included plier in our Bulldozer spec, but it should just open. So far so good, all green down here, and boom, look at that. We have an application where we can see the letters inside of our MD cards. We click on Press Me Daddy, and then we see the home screen and we see our email button. So for my process, I created a successful APK file using Bulldozer, and I'm limited to the devices, the virtual devices that Android Studio has to offer. So I used as a supplement Firebase. Firebase has access to a lot more devices, different types of devices that I can upload my APK file to Firebase. Run a test. I can choose 20 to 30 devices. It's going to cost you maybe about $5 to run the test, I would say, over the lifetime of your project, and it will give you errors that Android Studio might not pick up. There's various videos on using Firebase. I'll probably do a more in-depth one later, but this is just something that I use to make sure that my APK files are ironclad before I convert them to AAB, which is our next step. So AAB files are required to upload your apps to the Google Play Store. It's simple to create AAB files. We're still going to use Bulldozer. We just need to change some items inside the Bulldozer spec file. So I'm gonna minimize that. I'm gonna close out of that. I'm gonna stop that process to not use up the memory of my computer while I'm doing this. Actually, I'm gonna just close that out because for this part in the process, I'm done with Android Studio for now. I'm going to minimize Ubuntu for now, and I'm going to go to my Bulldozer spec file that's in VS Code. All right, what you're gonna need to do is go down to your Bulldozer spec file and scroll down to a section at line 316 and make sure that this just says Android release artifact equals AAB. Then when you go back to your Ubuntu, you're going to type in Bulldozer Android release Note the difference. Last time we was just creating an APK, we was typing in Bulldozer Android debug. Because we're going to release this to the Google Play Store, we're going to type in Bulldozer Android release. So we do that, and then the same thing is going to happen how it was sent to the bin file, the bin folder. So we're going to navigate to where that is. YouTube folder, bin, and then we see here the APK is what we've been using in Android Studio. The AAB file is sitting there ready for release to the Google Play Store. Easy. All right, in this chapter we fixed the font size in our original APK file. When we got to Android Studio, we played around with our Bulldozer file in Android Studio, and we added a plier module, and we saw how we fixed that when it came to the logcat inside of Android Studio. I showed you how you can upload your APK file to Firebase. And finally, we converted our APK file to an AAB file that can be released to the Google Play Store. In our next chapter, we will get you to upload your very own AAB file, aka your app, to the Google Play Store so that you can make some shmoneys. The next chapter of this series will be released Friday by 11 p.m. Follow me as we continue on in our journey and we upload an app to the Google Play Store. Follow me on all socials, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and AppZaddy.